And I'm MELO.
And this is Art and Inquiry.
And today's episode is all about breaking the boundaries and reimagining what's possible with collage. Now, this might sound a little bit familiar since we just created an episode, Collage, Layers of Creativity. But on this one, we've got a special twist. Think of it like a creative jam session, except with no musical instruments, just a bunch of art and pictures and pixels. It's going to be awesome. So let's jump in.
Sounds like music to me. What we wanted to do today was take a couple of people who we know very well that we think are quite creative, but who don't consider themselves to be artists, and see if we could take this idea that collage is for everyone and bring it to life.
Cue a mini, round of applause, or if you're feeling shy, golf clap, because today we have Vex, the edgy visionary, who can take a blank page and put things on it.
Let's do it. I'm here for it. But now what? Now, how do we make it work, though?
And then we've also got Carter, a texture guru who turns scraps into visual poetry.
I mean, I'm artful, but stick figure is about all I could do.
And together we're going to create some collages with an artist prompt that might look strikingly familiar, because this is the artist prompt that you saw in the previous episode. Cut, paste, create.
You may remember this slide from the video that we will link in the description down below, and perhaps right here as well. So collage is a creative process. It's also sort of an allegory and a metaphor for the creative process, in which you take preparation, gathering ideas and inspiration, incubation, the exploration of those ideas, to find illumination, which is the spark, and then take it through some evaluation where you're refining your idea, and then bring it into implementation where you bring your ideas to life.
So the objective for today is to create a collage. But as you know, we can't just do anything simple and create a whole episode on something that you guys have already seen. So we, of course, had to throw in a twist, a handicap, sabotage. I mean, it really just kind of depends on what you want to look at it as.
Now, our guests have not seen these objects. They grabbed them and then they gave them to MELO. MELO put this together. I've just saw the objects today.
So I will confess that both Vex and Carter do know each other already. So there might be some personal jabs here as far as how they created or chose the objects. But I'm kind of curious, Vex and Carter, are you guys nervous? How are you feeling right now without knowing what objects you're going to have to work into the collage?
I feel like I'm going to end up with a... I'm
all right.
Carter's super respectful, so he might not just do,
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
What do you think, Carter?
I've never been a nervous person, but right now, I am nervous. My heart, but I'm sure Vex didn't, do me too bad.
I did you good, okay? Ish.
Oh,
Ish.
Like 2 out of 3, okay? The other one, make it work. I don't know.
I'll make it work.
Well, without further ado, Carter's objects from Vex. I'm going to do them one at a time here.
And Vex, if you want to add any color, feel free. If you want to speak to them.
Object number 1.
Sandpaper.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Object number...
Mm-hmm.
Object number 2.
An eggplant. It's one of my favorite colors, purple.
Oh, it is a great color. That is one of my favorite colors as well. And
black tower. A black PC tower.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking to your love of gaming, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, I liked it.
I like it too.
Sandpaper, eggplant, black tower. Got it. Got it.
All right.
And keep in mind, you don't have to use all 3. You have to use at least one. I mean, we'll give you like bonus points and a
no. You
star
use all
if someone
fucking
uses all
3 of
3.
those in there somehow. Absolutely not. Get them in. Figure it out. Okay.
Oh man.
Well, Vex,
All
you're
right.
shocked then.
All right. So now we have Vex's objects from Carter. We'll do them one at a time.
Okay. Oh, that's so cute. Right?
Okay.
I can do that. I like that. I like him.
I like him too. I like him too.
I like
He's
him.
an angry.
I like
he's
him
an
a lot.
angry
He's got a
little
name
feel. I
already.
really
Like, we're
oh,
done.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are there any color on this object?
Oh no, he's just like that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's just a little guy. He's just an angry little guy. I love him.
Get off my seafloor.
Also,
He didn't get to
he's
go to
black
the
and
sea
white,
rave.
so yeah, he's black and white. There's
Yeah.
clearly no color to be added. Okay, and then
A little stitched up heart yarn, cool. Like
no,
it,
I actually
cute,
love it. I
adorable.
too.
It's super cute.
Yeah, it's like it actually kind of goes with the ArtInqMe aesthetic too, because it's kind of a crumpled up paper. I kind of love that.
Yeah,
about it.
100%.
Yeah,
Calculated.
calculated and
Calculated.
stunning. And then, last but not least,
Ooh, purple flower. Okay, bet I got this. Easy.
all right,
Because purple is
Okay.
your color.
It is. You did good.
Sure
You did
is.
good.
Yeah, no, I think these are
This
great.
is funny. This is
This is
fun.
this is really this is a good
fun.
mix.
Yep.
Yeah, so as
Okay,
we
cool.
know, collage is really cool because you can take objects that are all different styles. It can be real photos, it can be, vector, clean lined objects. So I think this is actually a really good mix as well, that you could literally work any of these in, and just kind of depends on where you want to go.
Yeah, it sure does. And of course, you don't have to use everything, just one thing. But if you want to use everything, extra bonus points. Somehow you win, even though we weren't keeping score. We love that.
Oh, we're keeping score.
Oh, are we? Okay, cool. All right.
Oh,
my
I've already seen I lost. I'm
Yeah.
not anyway. So I'm gonna give it the old college try.
And today we're going to be using Canva to create the collages. So you can use any sort of like digital app if you're going digital, obviously, things like Procreate, Photoshop, GIMP, any of those. We chose Canva because it's really easy to collaborate. We can be in the same artboard at the same time. So for this session, we'll have Catalyst and Vex work on the collage, and then Carter and I will work on the other collage. During the process, we'll talk through why we're putting things together. The creators will also be able to ask us for help if there's something they're trying to do with an image and they're not sure from more of a technical side how to do it in Canva. But Canva actually has a full suite of tools, things like background removal, gridding, patterns, all kinds of stuff that just come in suite. So if you haven't checked out Canva, we're not sponsored by Canva, but I highly recommend it. And it will make your life way easier, especially when getting creative on the fly.
Hell yeah.
I love Canva. I use Canva for so many things.
Do you?
So many
See, I
things.
love to hear that. I love to hear that because I
So
think
many
I think
things.
a lot of people think all these art programs are so. I mean, we covered this a lot in the collage episode in the first place. I think people think that you have to have a lot of special like knowledge and skills and schooling and whatever to use these, and then you really like Canva makes it very easy.
Yeah, we're going to let Catalyst and Vex jump right in. Carter and I are going to go run away, and we're excited to see what you guys come up with.
So you've got your objects, and then we have access to the asset library here. So what you thinking with these objects?
I don't know.
Well, I loved your reaction to the little guy.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
he's so cute. He's really cute. I really like him. I'm trying to figure out what he's doing. And then we'll figure
Well, you said
it
he
out.
has a name. Let's start with that. You said he already had a name.
Yeah, but I don't know if I like it.
Well, let's see where we go, because one of the things that's so great about the art form of collage is that it's like a tangent that you can take for as long as you want. So let's take that as a tangent. No pressure. No pressure.
Okay, well, I was like immediately thinking like Fred or
I
like Bob, some kind of like angry old man name. You know what I mean?
I love
Like,
that.
Yeah, that's kind of where my first thought was. So, like, he's like an angry old man. But then I looked at him more and I'm like, I don't know. He needs a mustache, I think.
That's an entire possibility. We can grab a
Yeah.
mustache.
And he needs a mustache. I know I saw a mustache somewhere.
Yeah. So a couple of different ways in which we can do that. We can go on into elements and just type in for a mustache. Or we can check the asset library for some inspiration. But since it's so specific, we can grab mustaches. Are you thinking like an old-timey mustache?
Yeah. And I think he needs a monocle.
A monocle and a mustache.
Yeah. Monocle and
Okay.
a mustache.
Got you. All right. I
Let's
must ask you a question. Do you like that one?
That one's kind of cute. It's kind of fancy.
It's very fancy.
It's kind of fancy. I kind of dig it.
On the
I don't
fan-
like his whole face. Can we actually get rid of his face?
Maybe he's a before, and maybe we need to make him happy with the collage. That's sort of,
Ooh,
what I
okay,
mean?
okay.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
because you're saying you don't like his face. Well, let's change that with let's give him some better surroundings. Let's
I
give him
like
something-
that. I like
Yeah, me too. I'm getting excited. All right, so what would make him happy?
Now I'm picturing Pride Rock. I'm not gonna lie.
Pride Rock.
Yes. I'm like, there's like Pride Rock and the seal like looking down at like the happy seal.
Right. So I'm getting Pride Rocks, like, you know, for like in June, you know, gay Pride Rocks.
Whoa.
go ahead.
Okay, hold on.
Like from the Lion King, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, right on. All right. Okay, Pride Rock.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's
That would
see.
be like what, a big stone?
It would be a big stone. The Pride Rock itself would be copyrighted, but I'm looking at pictures of it right now, and it's kind of like a big monolith stone that kind of goes down like a swoop. Are we still looking to keep the mustaches around?
I don't know.
Okay,
yeah,
we'll
I
leave.
still think he needs a mustache.
Yeah.
Like 100%. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, stunning. Good.
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah. No, he
Yeah,
absolutely
mustache.
still needs a mustache. Mhm.
Yeah, 100%. I love the mustache.
Yeah. No, he needs it.
Plus, then you can be like, I must ask you a question, and that's the whole.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
that's important.
That's actually vital. To be fair, that's actually vital.
100%. A+ for me. I know the color orange.
Right.
I bet Carter doesn't get bro. I don't know how to position this. Where does it go on him? Was that too big of a mustache? I don't know.
I mean, I actually liked it a little bigger.
I know. I
personally.
kind of liked it super big,
Yeah, I kind of like it super big as well. Like it's a mustache that's taking over the world.
right? Like, is that where it goes? Wait, should we show a little bit of? Wait, no, that doesn't work like that. Then it gets rid of its nose. It's fine.
Okay, stunning. All right. So now what else do we need? All right. So now what's the story that we're telling here? Like what's Fred or George or Ricky? I don't know why Ricky, but I don't.
Yeah,
Ricky's
I
not
kind of
Fred.
like Ricky actually.
do you?
Yeah, I kind of like
Okay.
Ricky.
All right. So what's
Well,
Ricky's vibe? What is he doing? Where is he at besides Pride Rock? Like what do we
He's-
need here?
I don't know. He's upset with somebody or something.
Maybe to pull in one of the other objects, maybe something happened in his love life. Maybe his heart needed to be mended.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that resonates with you. I'm thinking about the other objects that we
He
have.
doesn't seem angry about that though. He seems like upset about some petty ass shit.
Yeah,
Like,
probably.
he's not about breakup. You know what I'm saying? Look at that face. He
Okay,
doesn't
yeah,
fucking
that's fair. Yeah, that's
Like-
fair. No, that's definitely this is definitely a lot more about he's definitely kids get off my lawn, not
Right? Yeah.
not they left me and I'm sad, but rather you crazy kids get off my lawn.
So when I was like picking out my stuff for Carter, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was more so like thinking that we did have to use everything, right? But it didn't necessarily have to be like from it. It can be just like the inspiration from it, right? So like
Oh, gotcha.
that purple, I could use like that color purple, but on something else, or you know what I mean? Like that is what I thought we were doing.
Oh, yes. So we can do that. So we literally can do, because there are no rules. So if we do want to pull that purple into things, if we do want to pull, if that's how you want to play it, we can totally play it that way. Because really, there are no rules. I mean, you remember the one I did for MELO? I did use the actual whole object, but my primary use of it was just using a tiny small bit of it. And you can do anything like that too. There's literally no rules. This is totally up to like your vibes and what your imagination is.
So I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw the flower, I immediately was like, that should be turned into a sky. So I don't know how to do that. But like,
I love that.
A whole bunch of copy and pasty, I guess, and transparency.
No, I love that.
I don't know, but I wanted to be the sky. Like, yeah,
we can make it like so. One thing that sort of immediately gets suggested is we could make it really, really big and abstract. Like you just incredibly increase it and put it behind and see where we're at there. Like, and if you put it behind everything, we could probably pull some clouds in too to suggest more of the sky shape with it. We could also to make it appear more like the sky, we could even rotate it slightly differently so it was less flowery and more like flowy.
Okay. So rotate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or we could blur it too, to where, like, oh yeah. So you know what I mean? Like sometimes if you flip something on its head or turn it upside down,
it doesn't look like it.
It doesn't look like itself anymore. Ooh, this looks pretty cool upside down like that.
I kind of like that too. It almost makes it like a vortex.
Yeah, totally. And then we could also look into blurring it too, like if you wanted it to be more like the sort of colors of a sky.
Okay. It needs to be like cut or something. I don't know. It doesn't look like a cloud. Like it needs to be like smooshed up.
We can just pull like actual clouds too.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Like something like that.
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
And then I got a couple options with that one. There's a bunch that are kind of like different shapes and whatnot that we can pull in.
Those are neat.
Yeah, they're beautiful, right?
Yeah.
We were literally just talking about how pretty smoke is earlier, and clouds are very smoky.
They are. That's true.
They really are. So this is really starting to suggest something here. We've got kind of two different vibes going. We've kind of got like an old-timey cartoon vibe and like a beautiful watercolor sky smoke.
Right.
Vibe. I'm kind of here for that. I'm here for the multi.
Let's do it. I'm here for it.
I'm here for it too. All right. Okay, what else?
Now, how do we make it work, though?
Well, one way to bring things together is to pull the different elements. So if we wanted to we could bring in more old-timey cartoon elements to kind of like different aspects of the composition to draw your eye, from the upper corners through the through line, kind of where you want it to go.
Okay.
So we could do that. We could do more old-timey cartoons. That might be a great way to go. Is there anything specific that you want to pull into this that would be old-timey cartoon style? Ooh, that's quite pretty though. It's getting there. It's going somewhere. It's definitely going somewhere. All right. I love him. I love him so much. He's so angry, but I think that we can make him happy.
Yeah, you know what? Yes, exactly. That's it. He just needs to be like the biggest is he there? It's all so happy and pretty and gorgeous or whatever, and then there's just this grumpy seal guy, you know?
Mm-hmm. So why is he there?
No, that is the question for interpretation.
That is the interpretation. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. So what do we want people to think about him in terms of why he's there? Because that might suggest what kinds of old-timey cartoon elements that we could bring in.
Girl, what? I don't know.
Well, it doesn't have to be that. I'm just trying to like help with the, sort of inspo and everything.
Let's find let's find a super happy killer whale.
A super happy killer whale.
Super happy killer whale.
Okay.
Yes.
Killer whale. Old-timey cartoon. Okay. Let's see if we can find this. Okay, this is a narwhal.
That's okay.
Okay.
Same difference.
That's a narwhal. There's a narwhal. There's two narwhals, actually. Okay, let's keep looking. We got like a Shamu, old-timey Shamu kind of vibes. Okay. I do like the killer whale, like the vibes of that. So let's see what is suggested by. Ooh, that one's cute too.
That one.
I love that one. And then we've got something that's a little bit more like shoo, floating through the air.
Totally. Okay, kind of dig that one. Oh my God, that's huge.
Yeah, totally.
It looked like it was made out of felt. That was kind of weird.
I kind of like the fact that, I just speaking from a purely like color theory perspective, the black and white really makes it pop against, with the seal being black and white, the whale being black and white. Yeah,
I agree.
I love this little narwhal right here, though. I can't help it.
I think maybe we can just add him somewhere.
Yeah,
we'll just add a bunch of him somewhere. He can make all of the abstract lines in it.
Oh, okay. Okay, stunning. All right. So okay, all right, stunning. We'll keep him in there. He can.
Yeah, we'll just put him over here for right now, and he can hang out there for a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
He can be a secret.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay.
Okay. I want to flip this dude's eyeball? Can we do that? He's looking up at
this dude right here.
Yeah,
we can do that. Very likely we can do that. We can.
Okay, hold on, because we can just we can just find an eyeball.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Right, literally. Yeah, this is a collage. Why are we trying to change things when we can just
just add it?
Literally. Okay, stunning. I love that. See, now you're thinking about things in a collage way.
Look at that.
Love that.
Oh,
love that.
Okay, but now how do I search that I want an eyeball that is looking up like that?
I'd be like cartoon. Cartoon eye. What I'd say is cartoon eye, and then we can just flip it. So one of the things about art that I always tell people, and I is that it's always a good thing to take a step back. Don't get drilled, especially after you drill down deep into something. The next step is take a step back and look at where you're at. So let's do that. What does it need? And what do you see?
I don't know. I feel like it's not right.
It's not right.
I
Okay,
hyper focus though, so it could just be a me thing because
No, I do the same thing. I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that. What if it was like right there and then slightly there? What do you think about that?
That looks better. You know what? Maybe it also needs another heart, a smaller one.
Yeah, stunning. Do it.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, duplicate it, and make another one.
I don't know where though. That's the problem. I don't know. Is it like here? No. Help me, Catalyst. You're an artist. Help me.
I'm thinking. So I think what would be really, really neat actually is if it was if it was bigger and out by his tail. Because that would kind of bring a through line.
Like in that little area there.
Yeah. I mean, I think that would be pretty good, and it would bring your eye through.
100%.
Almost like a cutie mark, you know?
Like there or?
Oh, that's cute. Oh, actually, that's adorable. That's actually adorable.
Right?
Yeah, that's actually adorable.
Do we make it?
I think
big?
it looks even better there too because you can see more of the details.
Do I make it super big or? Yeah, let's make it super
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Maybe it's super big.
Stunning. Ooh, now it kind of fits right there. Yeah. Okay, I love it.
Think that?
Yeah. Sure. Okay.
Except
Stunning.
I want it to be behind the whale.
You want it to be behind?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
There we go. So that string wasn't over it because that was going to bug me.
Stunning.
Cool.
All right. Let's group everything with that. Now, what does it need? So now you can move the entire thing, the whole whale, without having to worry about like grabbing everything, if you want to.
The whale needs water.
He needs water. Dooby-dooby-doo. And it could be like any way, you know? I mean, it could be, he could be riding the splash. I don't know, I guess from a compositional perspective. There we go. I knew I could come up with the word eventually. Little secret narwhal.
I'm totally throwing transparency on these because I feel like they were just too harsh.
Perfect. Ooh, that does help a lot, actually. Yes, see? You know what you're doing. You don't need me as an artist. You know. That's actually beautiful. Look at that. Because now he's like up in the clouds. Like that actually makes Pride Rock seem so much higher up.
I kind of think that I would like the water. We need to find, what's it called? Water paint. Water.
Like watercolor?
Collage.
Like,
yeah.
so water first, like a watercolor water.
Yeah. To fit it, I think it needs to,
water.
the water needs to fit the like clouds and background.
I feel
that. I need to.
Yeah, I feel that. Okay.
Actually, I think I want the background to change color. Jellyfish, we've got a lot of water here. I would not say no to a jellyfish.
Okay, well, that is just so pretty. It was just so pretty.
Okay, I couldn't
help it. Okay. But what I'm actually looking for is the water.
We're gonna put this guy with this guy really quick, right?
We could also make them F right off. Like that would be 100% fine as well.
I hate his fin. What's happening with dude's fin there? I've got a big thing with making things transparent. I don't know.
I know. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I make everything transparent, I guess.
No, I love it. I love it.
I need this guy back here to get transparent. I don't like having that space there either. I feel like a collage should be completely full.
See, not necessarily. Now, there's something to be said for negative space. Like there is something to be said for like, you know what I mean? As long as it's interesting. But if you're feeling like it's not enough, then it's not. But like a lot of people neglect the idea of negative space. They think it has to be like completely full and completely chaotic and whatever else. But
yeah.
One of the things that I learned when we were researching the episode is that the actual best way to start, if you've never done a collage before, is to start with a couple of small items and then build from there. And that's what we're doing. So, yeah.
Okay. I'm here for that.
Yeah, 100%. Ooh, that looks good. I'm liking it.
I can't figure out what color I want that yet. I keep going back and forth between a lot.
Well, what do you want it to do? Like, what do you want it's like, what's its purpose and function?
I think I want it to look stormy back there with then the like purplish clouds over it. I don't know how to do.
Ooh, wait. I like that. Look at that.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah, that looks really good.
Good. Yeah, I do like that.
Doesn't it? Doesn't that look good?
Mm-hmm.
And then if you want to, you can always add a stormy background to bring the whole thing together if you want.
Ooh, okay. That might be a good idea.
Let's check it out. So like stormy skies, right? I'll just go grab what's happening outside at my house.
Yeah, do that. I like that.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%.
We get inspired by real art here.
Yeah, okay, BRB.
Yeah, right?
Okay, so what are we thinking like? Are we thinking like tornadoes? Are we thinking lightning? Are we thinking
more so just like sky aesthetic, you know?
Sky aesthetic. Okay, like this stormy sky aesthetic. Okay, right on.
Yeah, it's so much easier for me to look at it over here than on this big
right, isn't it? No, that's
100%.
This is, you just learned something that it takes some artists like years and years and years to learn. That sometimes like one thing that I do, especially now that we have cell phones and whatever else, I take a picture of it and I look at it on my phone and I send it to another computer. Like if it's on,
there you go.
Yeah, like it's so helpful to get a different perspective on it, and that's like 100% what some artists take years for that. If that was transparent, it might be good, like more transparent.
Yeah, that's kind of right.
I think it's too dark.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of dig the vibe of that.
So what's the story? What's the story now? Like, what story are we telling here? Let's take a look at it from the live streaming one and see if there's a story here.
Okay, so there's me, the little gothic killer whale who
I love that.
is in love with the grumpy Carter seal, right? I love him. He's my favorite. And he just looks down at me super grumpy all the time.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, all right. So now tell me what it needs.
I don't know.
See, because I'm kind of liking it as it is. I don't know about you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really want to add too much to it. I think I need to just fix a couple of positioning things.
Okay. Stunning. Let's go into the implementation and finalization phase because we have a story.
Yes.
Got a spark. Yep. So we really did follow quite all of the things.
Yes.
I love that.
Look at us go.
I know,
Look
right?
at you go.
We actually stayed focused too, which I'm very proud of us for because I like the one thing I was a little bit worried about was because I tend to lose focus and MELO keeps me on track. So
yeah. Okay, so then for the positioning, this needs to be in front of that. This needs to be in front of that.
Okay. Yeah. I like it.
I think I need the mustache a little smaller. Where does this go? This is what I need. Where is positioning on this?
I kind of liked it where you had it slightly on the nose. Like, so that, because you know how, like, when there's a mustache, it kind of like, when there's a bushy mustache, it kind of looks like it's going up their nose.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's never, like, perfectly under. Kind of, probably with more time, but no, not easily. But with more time, with more
That's fair.
funding, I could make a very silly walk indeed. All
I think
right.
that's it.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. MELO and Carter.
All right, so we're on part 2 of this episode. We've got Carter, the uber creative man who doesn't know he's creative yet. You're about to figure it out. It's going to happen.
Stick figures and old school S's.
Hey, we should work some of that into that, you know? Why not? Bring it back.
Why not?
All right, so earlier in this episode, you were given some objects. These.
Okay. Sandpaper, black sour, eggplants.
You know, I mean, those totally go together all the time. 100%.
100%.
So, like, what's your knee-jerk reaction when you see any of these objects? Like, is there something that comes to mind? What kind of
Sandpaper, I am confused on why there's sandpaper there, unless I'm going to be sanding something.
Okay.
Black Tower, it's because I'm a gamer. So I see that, Black Tower, and, you know, my other name is Black Tower. But
okay. Hashtag self-promo.
eggplant, that just speaks for itself. Like,
Yeah.
which kind of confused why they picked that for that subject, but we'll go with it.
Okay. So let's figure out where we want to go with this. And it's probably best if we maybe pick like one of the objects to start with, or if you have like an idea of, do we want to do like a scene? Do we want to create some sort of message, a character? Like, do you have any just random thoughts like off the jump?
Definitely thinking about leaning into the gamer vibe.
Gamer vibe? Okay.
So Black Tower. I'll add in the other two, but definitely I'm an electronics guy.
Okay.
So like I like electronics. Like my room looks, I probably spend the most money on electronics.
Okay.
I know, wife hates it. She's like, what do you want for your birthday? I'm like, give me cash. I need some electronics.
All right. So we'll grab your desktop real quick, or your Black Tower, shall I say. So let's jump to your artboard. So you have your Black Tower. Do we want the background on or off for this one?
Background's gonna be off.
Off. Okay. Easy. One click. Boom. All right. There we go. Collage is done. That was amazing.
Done. Time to go.
This is Carter. This is Carter. Okay. So you have a Black Tower.
Not an old school Black Tower, because look at the disk drive.
Right.
Floppy disk drive up there. That's crazy.
Ooh, what about like more objects then? Like you said, the gamer vibe, right?
Yeah.
Maybe check out like the asset library, see if there's some stuff in there that you like. If we look at what's in there. Sometimes it helps when you're creating collage to like grab a few objects and then kind of like build from there. So take a look, search some things, see if there's any objects that you like, and then just like paste them in here, and then we can start playing around with them. So if you're watching us right now, we actually pulled together a mini asset library, organized them by topic just to make it a little easier. But you could absolutely just search in Canva or even on like Upsplash and grab free images. Super easy to do that. Old school camera. All right.
Yeah, apparently this is not loving me right now, so it's just like being finicky.
Okay. So we have all these objects. do we want them to be the focal point, or do we want to tell like some sort of story with these objects, or put them in something? Like,
I'm feeling we tell like a story.
Okay.
Right. Kind of want to have these like displayed in a way that actually tells our story. Tells story of me at least, because I'm a gamer.
The story of Carter. All right.
Story
like
of
the life of Carter. His journey, his origin, like, where do we go from here?
What goes along with that, like the journey. What goes along with journeys? A road. We're gonna need a road.
Let's find you a road. Okay.
We're gonna need a road. We're gonna need a nice road. Nothing straight, because I'm. Oh, whoa!
Nothing straight.
I almost said the wrong thing.
Hold on.
Whoa! Whoa! I almost said the wrong thing out loud.
Okay. How about this? Does this have enough curve for you?
There you go. I'm curvy.
Yeah, I'm not
road
straight.
Curvy. I'm
not straight.
Make sure we hit the chop block on that last one.
Okay. I am not editing that out. Everyone watching the episode right now, he wanted this gone. It's here.
Right. So what else goes along with that, right? Like a journey. A tree's a journey, right? Tree starts in a little bitty thing, and then it grows into something really beautiful.
Okay. So like a tree.
Yeah.
A tree. Is there like a kind of tree that comes to mind? Like, do you identify with a certain tree?
I mean, I identify as a bunch of trees. Wow, that's a hell of a lean there.
I literally just typed in tree.
If you like curves,
right? This is for you. More like realistic, right? Because some of these objects are realistic.
Yeah.
So what about this?
Ooh, I like that.
Isn't that pretty?
And I like the purple in the trees. I love it.
That is her color, right?
Purple is her color.
Okay. So go ahead and put the tree where you want to put it.
Oh, I can move things?
He's moving things. Oh no.
Kind of like in this area right here, kind of off to the side of the road.
Yeah. And what we can do if we feel this tree is too big or it's like awkward, we can either make it smaller, or we can just crop like this bottom part of it and then put like something in front of it so it doesn't just look like it's random sitting there. So like it could be like a patch of grass or some dirt or something, so it looks like it, grows out
like
or something.
Like a row of bushes type thing, like a row of bushes, kind of like the roads.
Bushes.
Roads are never as straight as people think they are.
I wonder, there's other objects you have to use, right? Let's flip back to that page.
Yeah, I have eggplants and sandpaper.
So I know we don't have to use all of them, but I do know you pretty well. And if I had to guess, you want to use all of them, don't you?
Oh, of course.
Just
100%.
to prove that you can.
Exactly. I'm going to prove that I can use these objects. So.
Okay. Do you think it'd be possible to turn one of these into a bush?
Maybe the sandpaper?
Maybe
the sandpaper.
Okay. So if we have this sandpaper here, not necessarily a bush color per se.
Depends. Are you a redhead? Maybe
Yeah, I mean, drapes, carpet, that whole thing. Yeah.
Same thing.
But what if we just change the color? And make a bunch of them.
Oh.
Is this kind of looking shrubby? So what's cool with Canva is you can easily flip objects too.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So you just click on it, and then there's a flip button.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that neat?
It is. You learn something new every day.
Boom. We're here to educate. Are we getting shrubby yet?
Look at that. Oh. Wee. Okay. Let me stop. Let me stop playing.
Like, we didn't get anything done, but we do have an amazing sandpaper shrub. Let me just tell you.
So is it possible to take that design, like the whole thing, right? Can you make copies of it to kind of bring it together?
Yeah, can absolutely do that.
Because I think if we had a little bit more, like kind of a little bit more, and then we can put it kind of off behind the, like on the bottom of the tree, or maybe along the bottom.
Yeah, so what if, see, we're going to grab a few of these randomly that are in the shrub, because if you think of the way a shrub looks, it's not all the same color, right?
No, shrub is, you have light green, dark greens, a little bit of brown, no black towers.
So if we turn the darkness down on some of them, makes a little more dimension because we're adding contrast.
Oh, I like how it's like transparent a little bit. The one in the
very
front is like transparent.
And then I think your idea was genius, where we copy and paste, and we can even tweak it a little bit. So they don't all look identical. I mean, that's kind of shrubby. It's looking a little shrubby.
That is looking shrubby. Carter type project, right? If we didn't have a space vibe thrown in.
Ooh, okay. So how do we put space here?
I think the space should be the like, I guess what I would say the backdrop.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm on the road. I'm always trying to get to space, so you're on the road that leads to greatness, which is space.
The road to greatness. Okay.
To greatness.
So the way this road's designed currently is there's a vanishing point. That's the part where it disappears. So in perspective, we take a line for like a reference, right? This is our vanishing point. Let me move it. So I put this up here. So this is where things disappear. A lot of people call this like your horizon line, right? Because like that's where you would typically see like mountains or like a sky or whatever. Okay, so that's our visual line to help as a reference. We'll delete it later. But now you mentioned space. Like, do you want space like this is driving to space, or space is like what it's driving on? So the on would be on the front part because that's your foreground. And then if it's in space, that would be your background. That'd be the top half.
Can we look at both?
Yeah, let's try it out.
See what background and foreground, I guess you said?
We can do whatever you want. This is your journey through space, right? And that's like her favorite color, and it's yours too, isn't it?
purple is on my favorite color list.
You have a whole list.
Yeah, I mean, purple. I like a nice orange. Definitely, I'm a green fan, but purple in like a bluish purple is like my thing.
Okay.
I like.
So, I know we still have objects to play around with, and then we have this huge blank area. Like, yeah. So while negative space is good because it lets you give breathing room to things you want people to focus on, because this is like a landscape and it's trying to show perspective, there might be like a good opportunity to put something that's close to us as a viewer in this bottom right side. Do you see what I mean? So like it almost helps us tell that really is driving away.
The lady in a car looking out the window.
Okay.
With the camera.
Yeah, it's the one.
That would be perfect.
Ooh. Okay. And what's cool is since we're digital, we're not glued down or anything like that, we can also change other elements. So like if we find, because looking at her, we want her to be like, important. We don't want her to be all messed up. So it's like if we have to make the road a different size or the background a different size, we can absolutely tweak those to make her work.
Because I kind of want her like the focal point where she's like looking at this beautiful, she's looking like she's off part to the side. She's looking at this beautiful tree, this beautiful road that leads to space.
Okay. So what if we make the road just way bigger? Now, if we change this, like this road is different, that actually ends up in a weird way giving us more breathing room for the tree. Like we can make the tree even bigger.
Yeah.
Okay. So those are like ornaments.
Yeah, it's like tree ornaments.
Ah, okay. So is the tower one of the ornaments? Or is it like one of the roadside attractions?
I think I want the tower as like a roadside attraction, but kind of like further back.
Okay. So as things go further back, they'll be smaller.
So they'll get kind of...
Like I just think of driving like Route 66, right? And seeing all the different like landmarks and things along the way. And this is like your journey through technology over time. And of course it ends up in space because it's you.
Oh, it'd be cool. The Route 66 line.
A Route 66 line? Okay. I'm sure we can find one, right?
But
That's pretty funny.
ooh, got a little.
Oh no. You know who this reminds me of now? A car on its back.
A car on its back.
For those who don't know, Vex, when she was new to Rocket League, was stuck on her back in her car and couldn't figure out how to flip over. So we call it vexing when you're stuck on your back when we play games.
It is a thing. It is a thing.
Wow. Other object that we haven't used yet was the eggplant.
Yes, and I have a funny thing for that. I like space, right? What goes along with space? Shooting stars, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I think shooting eggplants.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. So let's say we've got this eggplant. So do you want to keep it where there's to eggplant, or do we want to actually edit this image?
I want to, or try to edit it to get just the front, not the one laying down, just the front one.
So what's cool is Canva has this neat magic eraser, so I can just help you out here. Let me get that. And I literally am just coloring on top of that first one, the one that's at the bottom. Boom. Like that?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's see you turn this into a shooting star. Feels like it's missing something.
Yeah, what's that stuff called? Comets have the stuff, the trail that came off it. I call it like
like that
dust.
trail. Yeah,
Space dust. There's a name for it, but I can't think of the name because I'm not a scientist.
So I don't know if you realize this, but we actually did an art concept as we were going through this. We created basically like visual rhythm. So like what that is when you do things repetitively, or you use scale or balance to bring harmony to everything. So remember how we started with some of these objects and we're like playing around with them, and now look at where we are. Like they feel like they're fitting together. It's kind of cool.
I wish you could change the numbers on the Route 66.
I mean, why couldn't we though?
Yeah, because my route would be Route 69.
Well, we're about to go there.
See?
Look at that. Magic.
Look at that.
So we're at kind of toward the end of the creative process, where now we're just tweaking things and kind of like making sure that it's the way that we want it to look. So we already went through the preparation and incubation, illumination. So now
there's a lot of white.
Yeah.
There's a lot of white.
So I'd recommend like zooming out so you can just kind of like take it all in, right? Because a lot of times we're like zoomed in and like looking on specific areas. So we like literally physically step back a little bit and look at it. What do we want to move in here? And then what do we want to do with all that white that you'd mentioned?
That'd be cool as like a, Route 66 is out there, kind of like deserty, right?
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like, I guess making all the white kind of look like a desert.
If we didn't have as much of this background, like where you see the mountains in the sky, and just had kind of this deserty, sandy front, is this kind of the vibe that you're thinking about?
Yes. Like if you were cut off right where that little rock.
Okay.
Where you just cut that off and just have from the bottom to where that rock is, I think that'd be perfect. That looks like a road with a starry night.
Yeah. It does, actually. So we make this big, and then we cheat and literally just put it behind the other thing.
Yeah.
The red that's in it, do we want to like pull red in from somewhere else? Like maybe the red of her lips, so that there's like kind of this overarching symmetry behind it.
Is it? Oh.
Let's make it just a little more red. So that way it feels a little more like put together. We could do the same thing on the sign if you want. It's up to you.
I'm thinking.
Although that is the caution red type of sign, so.
Yeah. I'm thinking we throw a title on that VHS.
What is the name of your movie here, Carter? You're taking us on this journey.
A Black Tower's Journey.
A Black Tower's Journey. There you go. So we should probably make that like 2 lines. Do we want a journey to anywhere or just a Black Tower's Journey?
A Black Tower's Journey. If you can do it, or if it can be done, the red, because you know we use the red for the lips and the sign. Probably do the red for that.
Yeah. Do you want it to have her feel like it's handwritten or that it's typed? Like, what kind of vibe do you want from a font?
Definitely handwritten. Because it's kind of like we made a video and then we just slapped a handwritten label on it.
We made a video.
At what? I thought about doing like you remember the old RC cars?
Yeah. Have like an RC car driving down the road?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if we had a Finnick or a Dom, like that'd be great.
I mean, I might have some of those, but those are licensed, so.
Those are licensed. Those are. I do want to add one thing.
All right, what?
Is there stick figures?
Stick figures. Oh, no. You know what's going to be better? On the left side, there's tools. Do you see that?
Yeah.
And then do you see one that looks like a marker? It says draw.
Yeah.
Draw one. This could be your signature. All right, what do you think, Carter? Are we there?
I think we're there.
We have it?
I think we have it. I think this is nice.
This is epic. I mean, this is pretty wild.
See, guys, if I can do it, and I'm just a stick figure guy,
I'm just a stick figure guy.
you can do it.
If I can do it, you can do it. All right, so let's get Catalyst and Vex back, and then we'll do the big reveal. To recap, we have spent a few hours now working on collages. We had Vex, who worked with some objects that Carter provided. And then we had Carter work on a collage with some objects that Vex provided. And now we are going to reveal what they created. Buckle up. Just buckle up. First.
Ladies first.
So just as a reminder, these were Vex's objects from Carter. We have our angry little seal. We have our beautiful purple flower, and we have our pieced together, sewn together hearts.
There's
All right.
a reason that heart's on there, but go ahead.
What's the reason?
Yeah, tell us the reason.
Yeah, no, let's the story. Yeah, I want to know.
Vex, you're muted.
Oh, she's good now.
So I added the heart on there.
Yeah.
I might have been
Like, tell us the story and
Yeah.
read my lips.
So the heart being like it is, like where it's tattered together, there's a story behind that. And it goes into a meeting, actually all you guys And so I put that on there because before I met you guys and became part of the family, there were some dark times there. So meeting you guys kind of bandaged the heart back up. So I put that there because I love all you guys.
My
So
heart.
That's cool.
That's
I really hope you
amazing.
guys use the heart. Like, no pressure now. But if you didn't use the heart, like,
Used everything. Okay.
Yes, we
ooh,
certainly
Told you.
did.
overachievers.
Told you.
Overachievers. Here for it.
Do you
Well,
have a story behind the seal?
I just liked him because he was angry.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
a little,
Cool.
and then of course the flower because it's purple and your favorite color. So.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, drum roll.
It was actually super funny because I was totally listening and watching until you guys started talking about bushes, and I was like, all right, I'm out. Not even gonna lie. And as you guys like were starting to go through like some of the first pieces that like MELO was putting out, she was putting out some watercolor. And every single one of them, Carter was like, oh, I don't like that one. And then I'm like, oh my God, I made my entire thing watercolor. Like there's a lot of watercolor in that. But
Okay, so I may not like watercolors, but this is cute.
okay, good.
This is cute.
Good. Because this is me and you. I'm the little black goth killer whale over there who wants
What?
to
Wait,
see
wait.
my little heart.
Killer whale.
You're just the
What?
grumpy seal on top of the rock, like doing grumpy seal shit.
Because my mustache is long
Yeah.
and it's bothering me. I'm upset.
Exactly. It's a stormy night, you know, just aesthetics. There's, you know, we're getting hella high with pink smoke.
Hey,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm glad you put me on a rock because I can't swim, so I'm glad I'm on the rock.
You know,
Right.
I didn't think
Right.
about that, and I can't swim either, but I'm fine because I'm always on water. That's my magic carpet guy, we'll say.
All right.
You guys did a lot with textures here too. This is pretty neat. Can you tell us a little bit about like what's inside this, like how you made it?
Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of texture in there. There's like tentacle guy.
Yeah, there
The
sure is that
tentacle.
tentacle guy back there.
Yes. Yeah, that's a jellyfish.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
And then the purple rose is in the very background. It like makes part of the clouds.
Mm-hmm.
Like zoomed in and just made it a darker color and put it back there.
Yep, super big, super big.
Yeah,
make it the
super
sky.
enlarged. And then another also like enlarged photo of like a stormy night.
Colors where you guys are like bright and colorful and like happy, but then there is this kind of background, like the juxtaposition of like the stormy night and the tumultuous waves. That's super
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I really like the colors that Vex chose. Like Vex was she was very interested in like in keeping the dichotomy between sort of the elements, and I just really think it looks great. And now,
No pressure on me.
No,
Right.
yeah, it better be good.
take it away.
All right. So Carter had 3 objects that Vex had picked out. He didn't have to use all of them, but him being an overachiever, of course, wanted to. He had a roll of sandpaper, a black PC tower, an eggplant.
Not gonna lie, the sandpaper was a little tough. Sandpaper was tough, but we made it work.
The sandpaper, I don't really have a story behind besides the fact that those 2 things were cock references. And I was like, what is the opposite of cock? Sandpaper. Yeah.
Sandpaper. Sandpaper.
Yeah.
So this just shows how art, like you can do things that are PC, you can do things that are tongue in cheek and still make it fun and creative. And that's what I love about it.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so this is like a journey with Carter. All right. So if you look, the sandpaper is actually
Your bush. That's a
The
nice bush, bro.
right sandpaper.
Nice bush.
And I incorporated a lot of what we all like to do. You know, we like music, as you can tell, the microphone in the tree. We're all gamers with the controllers in the tree. We all like making some sort of content, so we got cameras in the bush. And then it takes you down a trip of old school items, right? And they're more like driving down, you know, when you're driving down and you see billboards. Well, these are billboards, right? So you have the old school projector, You got the VHS tape, and if you zoom in on there, it actually says a Black Tower journey.
I love that.
Right? You got the old school Nintendo handheld, and of course, Black Tower.
Oh my gosh, you little guy right there. Shut up. Get out of
Yep.
here.
My little stick figure, I drew that. My little stick figure.
What
If you
the-
look
He
up
literally
in
drew it. He
Star
drew it by
Tower.
hand.
and if you look up in the sky, right?
Yeah, what are those?
We got shooting. We got shooting eggplants. You heard of shooting stars?
Oh, those are the eggplants.
Those are the
Shut
eggplants.
up.
We
Oh,
have
that's
shooting
great.
eggplant.
Those are wonderful.
And if you zoom in a little bit, Vex, and you go back to the very back sign back there, I threw a little Easter egg for you back there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, I don't know if you can zoom back there, but
Hold on.
and of course, you couldn't have a reference without a 69.
And okay.
I'm
But in the very back, if you look at that, it referenced the point where you got into Rocket League and you were upside down.
shut up. I love
while.
that. Yeah.
And we named it Vexing.
Experiencing
Epic.
slight technical difficulties on the
Oh my
sharing.
god, that's great.
It is
Those
amazing.
fucking avocado stars are literally life.
And then the tree, we added the tree because I was thinking, tree of life. And your favorite color is purple. So I tried to add as much purple in this as possible.
It's really cool. I like that.
Very cool.
I think it's amazing. I
Look
think you
at
guys did
you.
such a great job. I love the perspective.
Yeah.
I love the vibes of this whole thing. I love that you did like a forced perspective thing. And the lady in the corner, I mean, she's amazing.
I adore her so much.
I know. I love her
adore
so
her
much.
so much.
She's
So I was going
so
through
great.
like the
we match
design.
our nails to me and her.
Yeah.
Like we like
I was going through, the asset library and I was trying to make it, then there was a couple good ones. But this one is like she's hanging out the window, she's taking a photo of
100%.
the scenery she hasn't really
She
seen
is
before.
enjoying Route
Enjoying life.
69, a Carter's or Black Tower's journey. Like
She's
yeah,
And you
very,
can see in the
very,
tree,
very
no
enthusiastic.
U-turn, because once you hit down once you hit this
That's right,
highway,
yeah.
there's no going back.
it's a one-way road, bro.
One way.
Mm.
Though there's two lines, one way.
But yeah, that doesn't matter. It's still only one way.
Yeah.
That's the bike lane,
That's the bike lane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bike
there
lane.
you go.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, drew that little character there and I added your car in the back. So
I love that so much. It's so
I love
cute.
it too. This turned out so great. They both did.
Ours are so different.
And they're so
So
different.
different.
They are.
They're so different. I
That's
love that.
crazy.
So with no experience, no background in collage, literally the only thing you guys did with collage was watch our episode before this
Mhm.
and look at what you created. Look at this for a second. That's kind of wild, right?
It's amazing. It's
Good job,
amazing.
Carter.
Everybody
Thank
did
you.
such a great job. I really think so.
Look at that brain, bro.
This is
You got
fantastic.
that
I
big
both-
brain energy. Like,
that big brain energy.
I do love the eggplant shooting stars. I think they're fantastic.
I honestly,
You
I
that-
really
you
need
know.
to take those into my life somewhere. I don't know where in life they're going, but they're going to become a daily part of it for sure.
I was like,
100%.
because I was thinking about, because I incorporated space because I like space. So I'm
Mhm.
like, you know what? Let's do, instead of shooting stars, shooting eggplants.
They're fucking great.
It's terrifying. You look outside and they're shooting eggplants. There's a
think that
problem.
would
I'm
be
not
it.
going to get knocked out.
That would actually be terrifying if eggplants were. Well,
Oh,
I
God,
guess it
the
depends on how much
innuendos
Parmesan
there
you
that
have.
I'm just not going to say. But yes.
You should have heard my first comment when I first started. I was talking about roads, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm not straight at all." I mean, wait, what?
I mean, wait, hold on. What?
He made it very clear he did not want a straight road.
I did. I was like, I'm not straight. I don't want to wait. I was like, you know what? Give me a curvy road.
Exactly.
Curvy road. We're gonna do the
Curvy,
curvy road. Curvy.
Curvy.
Well, I mean,
This was
both of you
fun.
did an absolutely fantastic job. And I'm going to call it a job because I'm hoping that this was fun. And I'd like to hear kind of what your thoughts were. And was there anything that you learned as you're going through it or felt?
I mean, just placement. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, one thing I was so pleased with is we were talking about different ways in which you could, and I was listening to the Carter process as well. Both of us hit upon the idea of taking a step back, and I think that's one of the best things that you can
Mhm.
learn, especially if you're new to art or if you want to make art. Just taking a step back can make all the difference. That's how you know you're done. And both of us hit on that. So that was really
different.
We hit all 5 categories.
Winning. But exceptional work. This is really cool.
We stayed focused most of the time as well.
Most of the time.
Probably like 85 to
there was only
7% of the time. Yeah.
That's fine. That's like, well, C's to get degrees. So that's kind of the mistake. You're good. You got this. So as a reminder, we do have the artist prompt, cut, paste, create. So if you're inspired after what you've seen these amazing creators, Vex and Carter, create, you can do it too. Collage is the gateway art. So make it happen. Just create something. It could be digital. It could be physical. Post it on social, tag Art and Inquiry, and use the hashtag ArtInqMe. So that way we can feature you on our art show and show you some love and share your work.
ArtInqMe.
Do it.
Yeah, ArtInqMe right now, please. Stop what you're doing right now. Hit pause. Go ArtInqMe.
Check out the companion post because it'll have the amazing artwork that our creators, Vex and Carter, created today, as well as some of the slides that you saw, just reminding you of the creative process and giving you all the information for the social post.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Carter and Vex.
Yes.
We literally could not do it without you, right?
I mean, you could have.
Well, it would have been really
it's more fun with us.
No, they couldn't have, Carter. Okay.
My bad. I'm outnumbered. My bad. I was
Here's
wrong
the thing.
when I said that.
Talked to myself, but then nothing would have happened on screen, you know? So,
Yeah.
100%.
I was nervous going into this, but
were you?
It's like,
how do you feel now?
I'm not a artsy person. I mean, I am, depending. Like, I could write a story about stuff, but I can't, like, do the art for it. But, like, as I got into it, I got more relaxed and then more into it. So, I had fun.
Good.
I'm a big idea person, not a big execution person. You know, that's my biggest thing. I can idea, but the execution is not usually a thing that happens or well. So Catalyst kind of helped me with that.
I mean, you really did most of the execution. I made a couple suggestions. That was it. Like, you might not think you're an execution person, but I think you are. And I think you're very creative. And I think that you have a lot of that already down, and that it's confidence. Not execution.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your artistry with us, guys. It was a blast being able to create collages with both of you, Vex and Carter, and I hope you keep creating and that this is just the beginning of your artistic journey.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for having us. It was super fun. It was super fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yay. Well, with that, I'm MELO.
And I'm Kat. And this is Art and Inquiry.